Flashlights flashed relentlessly, like an unforgiving storm, as a black luxury car slowly pulled up in front of the historic building that had become the center of attention that night. For a split second, the world held its breath. No one was truly prepared for what was about to happen, not even the most seasoned fashion editors. When the car doors opened, the moment that unfolded was more than the arrival of a celebrity, but a declaration of power that would forever change the course of the global fashion industry. Kai stepped out first, his calm aura even more electrifying than the cheers of the crowd. Every tiny movement seemed perfectly choreographed, yet so natural. Behind him, Tan Songyun emerged with a grace that was hard to describe, as if time had slowed down just to make room for her presence. The initially boisterous crowd suddenly fell into a moment of silence. Cameras kept flashing, but the photographers seemed to have forgotten to press the shutter. Something was different. This wasn't just a beautiful performance, but a powerful energy that radiated, commanding the space effortlessly. The fashion editors standing in the front row exchanged glances. They had witnessed thousands of celebrity arrivals over the decades, from Hollywood legends to European icons. But their expressions that night revealed something rarely seen: genuine surprise. Kai's steps down the red carpet were unhurried, but not slow either. He walked with a rhythm that kept every eye following, every camera chasing, and every heart wondering how someone could look so flawless without even trying. Tan Songyun, on the other hand, provided a complementary contrast. Her soft smile was not only captivating, but also imbued the moment with emotional dimension. She wasn't just a star, she was a symbol of change. As they walked side by side, the atmosphere shifted dramatically. It wasn't just a fashion event anymore, but a stage for history. Even those previously skeptical of Asian celebrity dominance in the global industry began to realize that something big was happening before their eyes. Whispers began to rise among the international journalists. Words like new era and power shift floated unnoticed. There was no longer any doubt. This wasn't a passing trend, but a real transformation. A senior editor, who had covered Milan Fashion Week for more than 3 decades, was transfixed. He then whispered quietly, just enough for his colleague to hear, that this moment was one of the most perfect he had ever witnessed in his career. And indeed, every detail was perfectly in tune. From the way Kai turned his head with natural precision, to the way Tan Songyun lifted her dress slightly to maintain her graceful stride, it all seemed like a scene from a movie too good to be true. But what made this moment so powerful wasn't just their appearance, but the meaning behind it. They brought a new representation, that the fashion industry's center of gravity no longer revolved solely in the West. The spotlight was no longer dominated by the old names. The focus had shifted, and the world witnessed the change live, unfiltered, unstaged. The designers in attendance couldn't hide their excitement. Some were seen discussing deeply, as if formulating new strategies. The presence of Kai and Tan Songyun not only attracted attention but also sparked a rethink in the fashion world. On social media, the reaction exploded within minutes. Videos of their arrival went viral, racking up millions of views in a short time. Comments in various languages filled the screens, all pointing to one conclusion: this was an iconic moment. But beneath the glitz, there was something deeper. It was about identity, about representation, about how the world was beginning to open its eyes to a new definition of elegance and star power. Kai wasn't just an actor, and Tan Songyun wasn't just an actress. They were the faces of a global change that had been slowly building, but which finally reached its culmination that night. When they finally paused at the end of the red carpet and turned to face the camera, time seemed to stop again. There was no exaggerated movement, no attempt to look spectacular, because they were already the center of gravity itself. And perhaps that was what made this moment so unforgettable. Not because of the glamour, not because of the fame, but because of the authenticity that radiated so powerfully that it was undeniable. As they stepped into the building, the spotlight slowly dimmed, but its impact only intensified. The world of fashion may continue to change, but that night will always be remembered as the point where everything began to shift markedly. And for those who witnessed it firsthand, One thing was clear. This was no mere arrival at Milan Fashion Week. This was the beginning of a new era that could no longer be ignored. Inside, the atmosphere was no less intense. Crystal chandeliers hung majestically from the ceiling, casting light into every corner of the hall, but attention remained focused on one direction, where Kai and Tan Songyun had just stepped in. The previously relaxed conversation now became sharper, more focused, as if everyone was trying to comprehend what they had just witnessed. Some of the elite guests, who were usually hard to impress, stood a little straighter, taking in every detail of the couple. No one wanted to miss a single moment. Even those accustomed to being the center of attention had now unconsciously become spectators. Kai greeted with a slight nod, a simple gesture that only enhanced his charisma. He didn't need to say much, as his presence conveyed a message more powerful than words. Meanwhile, Tan Songyun interacted with a genuine warmth, striking the perfect balance between elegance and intimacy. A veteran photographer standing at the side of the room raised his camera once more, even though the formal session had ended. He admitted he couldn't help himself. A moment like this was too rare to miss. Every angle, every expression, felt like a piece of history that had to be captured. At the head table, several prominent industry figures began a serious discussion. Kai and Tan Songyun's names were mentioned repeatedly, not as guests, but as phenomena. There was an unspoken acknowledgement that a new standard was being established, and everyone had to adapt. Meanwhile, outside the building, the crowd of fans lingered, hoping to catch another glimpse of their idols. Occasional cheers echoed through the halls, a reminder that the impact of this arrival wasn't just felt by the elite, but by millions around the world. International media outlets began reporting in real time. Major headlines emerged, highlighting how the night was a turning point in the global narrative. It wasn't simply inclusion anymore, but elegant, undeniable dominance. And amidst it all, Kai and Tan Songyun remained composed, as if they had known all along that this moment would happen. There was no sign of surprise or overwhelm, just a subtle yet powerful confidence. As the night wore on and the event slowly approached its climax, one thing became increasingly clear. What had happened that day wasn't just a fashion event. It was a statement, a change of direction, and perhaps the beginning of a much larger story that was just beginning. As the background music began to slow and the lights gradually dimmed, the atmosphere became more intimate, yet even more charged with meaning. Many still glanced in Kai and Tan Songyun's direction, as if confirming that they were truly there, not merely the illusion of overly high expectations. Some guests began to realize they had just witnessed a moment that would be recounted many times, in articles, interviews, perhaps even in fashion history books. It wasn't just about who was in attendance, but about how a single arrival could shift global perceptions overnight. And when they finally left the room with the same calm strides as they had arrived, a profound sense lingered in the air that the world had changed just a little, but significantly enough to be felt by everyone present.